In the year 2000, my cousin was arrested for attempted murder, being in the wrong place at the wrong time. And why, you say? Because of the lack of things to do for young people, programs to help keep them out of trouble. See, if we had more money and more time and more effort put into our children, all these things would equal up to productive citizens. Have you ever seen that child that needed help, that was in a struggle, that just was looking for a way out? Or maybe even the child that you can't tell if that's a young lady or a grown woman because of the way she's dressed or the way she talks. If we had more support from our government and more help in our communities, we'd be able to teach them how to make better decisions for themselves. You see, it goes back to the old saying, it takes a village to raise a child. More adults and volunteers, plus the government, this would all equal out to productive citizens. I come from a single family home where my mother raised me, and she kept me around some great positive people. And I was fortunate to become the man I am today because of these people. My mom was a daycare worker for 17 years. And from her being a daycare director, she kept me working with children for the after-school program. I also was a teacher at Pine Ford at my high school I graduated from. And I also worked at the college that I graduated from for barbering for 2 years. So I have a pretty good background with people. Now, if you look at the crime rates of today, our youth crime rates are much higher than adults, which is a major problem. But again, if we had more money for these programs and they were put in the correct place, this would mean less crime and brighter futures for our children, and even less stress for our parents and adults that take care of these children. You see, according to the Scholastic.com, in 2005, 1 in 10 children were arrested for murder, 1 in 4 for weapons, and even 1 in 11 for drugs. Such high rates for young children. And even, as a matter of fact, I met a young lady who had a son who had behavior issues. And she basically said that it was mainly because he didn't have many outlets, that it was hard for him to be able to do things outside of the norm because it was so hard for her to be able to pay for it. He liked things like sports, and wanted to do extracurricular activities, but because there was no help and no programs for underprivileged kids or single mothers to help pay for the programs, he could not participate. You see, these programs will help with things like teaching children, young men, how to be successful, even young women, how to be successful in the business world, a future, a chance that they might have not had if they didn't have these programs. You see, it's hard to find help nowadays, and so we ask the question of who is supposed to help, because people are so selfish with their times, and they have more important things to do, so they say. But who would really step up to the plate to take a place for one of the children? To give them a real opportunity at success. It's the same opportunity that you might have had because you had somebody there for you. Even if they aren't your children, different colors, different backgrounds, and different behavioral backgrounds. Who would be willing to help? If not you, then who? Who can we turn to if not ourselves, if not us? You see, again, more money and help and volunteers would mean that it would be less crime for our children, from our children. It would be less stress on our parents and a brighter future for our children. You see, if money was really put in the right place and in the right direction and used properly, that means we would have a chance to have more productive citizens and less crime from our children. See, you and I have the ability to make this difference. So what I say to you, and I ask right now, is that even if the government was to help or not help, it's our time, it's our chance to stand together to make a better America. Not for me, not for you, but for also our children.